Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today to share my concerns with the devastating impact of the Cadillac tax enacted as part of the Affordable Care Act. The Cadillac tax is a 40% excise tax set to take effect in 2018 on employer-sponsored health care plans around the country. Mr. President, this is precisely why I have authored the only bipartisan piece of legislation that would fully repeal this onerous tax. The reason I did so is that in Nevada, 1.3 million workers who have employer-sponsored health care insurance plans will be hit by this Cadillac tax. These are public employees in Carson City. They're service industry workers on the Strip in Las Vegas, small business owners, and of course retirees all across the state. Hardly anyone in Nevada will be shielded from the devastating effects of this Cadillac tax. Some of these organizations include, let me step back. What I am most proud of on this particular piece of legislation, Mr. President, the fact that we have 14 other co-sponsors here in the Senate, and is also sponsored and supported by 75 other organizations across the country. And some of these organizations, they include unions, chambers of commerce, small business owners, state and local government employees and retirees, and they're all saying the same thing, Mr. President. They're saying the Cadillac tax needs to be fully repealed, and our employees will experience massive changes to our health care. So we're talking about reduced benefits. We're talking about increased premiums. Mr. President, we're talking about higher deductibles. Over 33 million Americans who use flexible spending accounts, or FSAs, and 13.5 million Americans who use health savings accounts, HSAs, may see these accounts vanish in the coming years as companies scramble to avoid the law's 40% excise tax. HSAs and FSAs are used for things like hospital and maternity services. They're used for dental care, physical therapy. Mr. President, they're also used for mental health services, something that we badly need today. Access to these life-saving services could all be gone for tens of millions of Americans if the Cadillac tax is not fully repealed. I've heard from employers, from big business to unions to small businesses from all over Nevada, saying that they will inevitably have to eliminate services their workers currently enjoy, and will have to cut certain health care providers out of their networks. This goes to the heart of the broken promises of Obamacare, and that is, if you like your health care, you can keep it. If you like your doctor, you can keep it. Earlier this week, I held a telephone town hall meeting with thousands of Nevadans from all walks of life. During the meeting, I asked the participants on the call, should the Cadillac tax be repealed? One of the best parts about these teletown hall meetings is you can do these surveys, and we do this weekly. But the question this week was, should the Cadillac tax be repealed? Almost 70% of them said, yes, the Cadillac tax should be fully repealed. Let me repeat that. Almost 70% of Nevadans supported the repealing of the Cadillac tax. They see this as a burdensome and costly tax that will hurt hardworking Nevadans, hardworking Americans. The onerous tax targets Americans who already have high-quality health care. No one claims that our health care system ever was or is perfect. The goal of health reform should be to help those who do not have health care coverage and lower costs for those who already have insurance. This tax does not achieve either one of these goals. It's very rare these days to see this much agreement in Washington. Organized labor, Chamber of Commerce, local and state governments, small businesses, they've all come together with a bipartisan group of senators putting forth a solution to fix a problem affecting so many hardworking Americans and their families. Some members on both sides of the aisle have tried to make this a partisan issue for different reasons, but this is not a partisan issue, which is evident by the fact that the companion legislation to my bill in the House enjoys more Democratic co-sponsors than Republicans. Fully repealing the Cadillac tax is an opportunity for Republicans and Democrats to join forces, work together to repeal a bad tax for just one purpose, and that is to help 151 million workers keep the health care insurance that they like. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor and suggest the absence. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I yield the floor.